Again, breaking news as we were on air. Gunman at the Donald Trump rally in Reno, Nevada. He went back on the stage to finish his speech after the gunman was apprehended, after Secret Service took him off the stage. We've now got an eyewitness to the event, Joe Bannister, calling in. Joe, what did you see at this rally?
Howdy, Joe Bannister here. Went to the Reno rally, and it was phenomenal. First one I've been to, first Trump rally I've been to. Basically what I saw was this really, a big guy, big, buff guy was running towards me and the crowd that was around me at, like, breakneck speed. And this is in a rally forum where you were standing room only. You could barely move. And this guy was bolting out from the center area to go out, towards me. I was more in the perimeter. And just like he had the fear of heaven in his eyes, which you'd think, well, this could only mean somebody's got a bomb or a gun or a knife or something. And he was whispering to other people what he had, why he was running so fast, and I couldn't hear him. But then an eyewitness told me, I interviewed her. I just haven't uploaded the video yet, but I interviewed her, and she said that a guy was carrying a sign, and apparently it was like purporting to be a pro-Trump sign, but it had some tape on it that would indicate it was anti-Trump. And the guy had a gun on his hip, and apparently there were at least 4 men, probably more, who made sure that he could not draw the gun out of his holster. So they basically all pressed down on the gun, kept it in the holster, and, then, of course, the law enforcement swarmed him and just dogpiled on the guy and held him until law enforcement could cart him away.
Do you know how he was able to get the gun into the event? Was there no process trying to, metal detectors or anything like that before you walked in? You could just walk in with the firearm?
Well, as maybe listeners know, Nevada's a, pretty, pro Second Amendment state. There's certainly concealed carry, open carry here. But in the venue itself, there was TSA, can't stand them, but I guess at a Trump rally, you got to have what you got to have. But anyway,
so they had TSA there.
So
TSA is known to let everything get by them. Like 70% of all things that shouldn't get through TSA, past them into the airport area.
So TSA failed is what you're telling us right now, Joe?
We already know they're a failure, but
yeah. So basically, there was the old-fashioned metal detector rectangle that you would walk through. There were TSA agents, 2 or 3 to an area, and you basically had to give them anything you had that was metal, and then you passed through. When I say metal, I mean like my cell phone, my charger, etc. That was handed to the TSA agent, and he would just examine it with his own, touch and observance. And then you pass through this rectangular metal detector, and then there was a Secret Service uniformed officer who would wand you with the wand. Hold out your hands and give you a wand up and down. So that was the extent of the security measures that I was subjected to. As far as I could tell, everybody was subjected to the same procedures.
Do you believe that this man's intent was to shoot Donald Trump?
I'm not sure. I can just tell you conjecture-wise, it could be, somebody, like I say, in Nevada, thankfully, you can open carry, you can conceal carry with a permit. It could be that the guy is just one of these people that doesn't realize you don't bring a gun to a candidate, candidate rally. But yet, like I say, the eyewitness said that there was a commotion between the suspect and the other men around him. And I don't know if it's because what he was saying or what was on the sign or a combination of the two, but there was a verbal altercation between the suspect and the men around him. And then at some point, somebody saw the gun. I don't know if the guy reached for the gun, but I think the gun was definitely exposed because the men who made sure the gun did not come out of the holster and took him down till law enforcement could arrive, they could see it was a gun, right? So he either flashed it was concealed, and he flashed it, or it was exposed the entire time, which I cannot believe. I don't know how he would have gotten through security with an exposed weapon. Concealed weapon, of course, is possible, but the measures were pretty darn strict.
Wow, this is some wild stuff. So somehow a armed, I guess we still don't know his intent or what led to the apprehension, but a armed man goes into the Trump rally, allegedly has some sort of altercation that eventually leads to him being taken and apprehended, and also Donald Trump being rushed off the stage by Secret Service. So this is wild. What was this man's intent? Was there any intent? How did he get into the event with a gun? These are the questions, I suppose, that we're going to be searching for the answers to. Joe, thank you so much for sharing your intel and your experience with us.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Thanks for all you do.
All right, thank you, sir. And I think we have some other people that are calling in now that were also at the rally. Let's see, is your phone working now, Sally? Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
So, Sally, were you also at the rally?
I was at the Jacksonville rally.
Okay.
It was actually in St. Augustine, and I had to go through the same metal detectors. There was one dog. There were two metal detectors. We were all wanted, but you could not take in a homemade sign. And I noticed that somebody mentioned that gentleman might have had a homemade sign. That is a no-no. At least it was for the rally I attended.
Well, and think about this, too. You know, we know of stories where TSA gets a directive to let somebody through. I mean, could this be the type of thing we're looking at, where there was some sort of a directive to let this guy in? Somehow he was able to skip TSA. Who is this guy? I mean, these are just the questions that come to my head. Again, Donald Trump, gunman at the Trump rally, gets apprehended. And Sally here, this is now another caller who's explaining how they had to go through a metal detector just to get in. Thank you for the call, Sally. And that's typical.
Thing. There was TSA from Wisconsin there in Florida. There were probably 9 people in the van, and they all had Wisconsin badges on their arm. So they were bringing them in from all different areas. It was pretty interesting.
All right, Donald.
Go ahead, Joe.
Donald Trump just released a statement about the experience. I would like to thank the U.S. Secret Service and the law enforcement resources in Reno and the state of Nevada for their fast and professional response. Also want to thank the many thousands of people present to their unwavering, unbelievable support. Nothing will stop us. We will make America great again. That's pretty powerful.
I want to see 10 million viewers tune in over the 50-plus hours, and that's where you come in. You are the heart and blood of the InfoWar. If you spread the link to Infowars.com/show and point out that this is the alternative new media, this is the rebellion, then all of you are riding right beside us, not behind us. So spread the word, my Paul Reveres, no matter where you live in the world. To Information Warfare Arms, the globalists are coming, and they will be met on the field.
Again, breaking news as we were on air. Gunman at the Donald Trump rally in Reno, Nevada. He went back on the stage to finish his speech after the gunman was apprehended, after Secret Service took him off the stage. We've now got an eyewitness to the event, Joe Bannister, calling in. Joe, what did you see at this rally?
Howdy, Joe Bannister here. Went to the Reno rally, and it was phenomenal. First one I've been to, first Trump rally I've been to. Basically what I saw was this really, big guy, big, buff guy was running toward me and the crowd that was around me at, like, breakneck speed. And this is in a rally forum where you were standing room only. You could barely move. And this guy was bolting out from the center area to go out, towards me. I was more in the perimeter. And just like he had the fear of heaven in his eyes, like, which you'd think, well,